Hello folks, welcome back to the Pen and Ink Stories, and today we're going to do a new pen unboxing and its review. It is a new iteration of an existing pen. I've had the other iterations for a while, but this pen, since its release, has been on my mind. So without much further ado, let's go ahead. So the pen in question is a Pilot. Pilot is my favorite brand of all fountain pens, considering how it writes. So I've had this on my mind for a while, and let's go ahead and unbox it. This is the box it comes in, and the pen we're going to review today is the Vanishing Point in a special edition, that is the Birchwood. So yes, the two reasons I've gone for this pen: one, I've really loved the finish of this pen, and two, I've always wanted a vanishing point in a broad nib. So yeah, this is the pen, my friends, and it comes in two colors. The Birchwood edition, it is available in black and wood, in brown or red they call it, but it is more of a dark red or more brownish, and it has a very grainy texture, and I wanted this texture to be seen, which is why I went ahead with this color instead of black. Black does show the grain and texture, but only when you observe closely. But this one, my god, it pops out from afar, and I must say it's a wonderful pen. I've had the Vanishing Point in matte black for a while. I've been using it for close to a couple of years, but now I wanted to get this. So let's go on ahead and look at the physical aspects of the pen. Meanwhile, before that, this pen does come with a cartridge cap in it, and also it comes with the dreaded Con 40 converter, which is not my favorite. So for today's review, I'll be using syringe filling a Pilot cartridge and using, which is my go-to method for filling Pilot pens that come with Con 40 cartridges. So yeah, I know every one of us have been through that, and we don't like the Con 40, and especially the capacity of Con 40 converter will not be able to do justice to a broad nib pen. So first off, let us look at the comparison with its counterpart, that is the Vanishing Point in matte black. As you look at the physical dimensions are pretty much the same, but there is, I don't know, it could be an observer bias or I'm not sure, but it feels like there's a minuscule girth difference, but again, that could be minuscule. But definitely when I look at the heft is different between both the pens, so I would want to measure it. But before that, let us see the length with the common pens which we can compare, right? So going ahead, as you can see, I put it aside with the other popular pens. One is Pelikan M800, the other is a Lamy Safari, there's another Vanishing Point, and then Pilot E95S. So these are the cap lengths. Well, these are the capless ones, but yeah. And let us go ahead and look at the uncapped length comparison. So when you look at these uncapped lengths, you can see these are the two different two different pens in the question. So you can see they're pretty similar in lengths when you uncap it, and essentially there's no cap for the Vanishing Point. But yes, what I mean to say is when you write it without posting, the other pens comparatively is actually smaller than the Vanishing Point. E95 we know is not meant to be used without posting, at least for longer sessions. So these are the comparisons of the physical dimensions. Let's move on ahead to the weight. When we look at weight of the pens, you can see the Birchwood is around 24 grams. Wait, I'm not sure you can visualize here, but yeah, it's about 24 grams, the Birchwood, with an empty cartridge inside, and whereas the matte black, which is typically made of whole metal, is around 32 grams, so it is at least 6 to 7 grams lighter than the birchwood is lighter than the vanishing point in metal, but I feel there is not significant change in the way it writes, because the weight loss which it got from the change in material is evenly distributed over the body, so the weight balance has not been impacted, I feel. And yes, let's go ahead and ink it. So the ink we'll be using today will be Schiefer Script Black. That is one of my go-to blacks. I know blacks are boring for some people, but for me black represents void, and it's a beautiful color. So let's go ahead and ink it up with filling the cartridge. Actually, inked with the cap and cartridge, it feels around 26 kilos. So yes, this is now inked with Schiefer Script Black, which is a very good rich black, I mean saturated black with extremely good water resistant properties. It's not waterproof, but it is an excellent water resistant property, though it does seem to feather on some papers. Meanwhile, let us wait for the ink to flow through the nib and the feed. So yeah, the paper which we are going to use today to review the writing experience would be the Hobonichi book. This is one of my go-to books, you can see, as to test my pens and inks. So yeah, I think I believe this comes with Tomorivo paper. I'm not sure, but it is essentially Hobonichi book. So let's go ahead and write it. So this is ready to go now. So as you know, this is a retractable mechanism pen. So when you open it, it opens into there's a trap door that opens, and then the nib comes out. This is the vanishing point in a broad nib. As you can see, this fits between, I don't know, it feels similar between Yovo medium and Yovo broad, probably in medium broad you can say, and probably also comes down to the ink. Probably the script is a little dry ink, and the strokes are very smooth and uniform in all directions, and there is a minimal amount of flex that can be obtained, but given that this is a broad nib, I would not try and flex it more. And it's a very wet nib, so making even dry ink seem a little wet. So this, my friends, is the Pilot VP Birchwood. So my closing thoughts on this pen. So I must say this is going to be one of my best writers, and this is my second Pilot broad nib. Apart from this, I have a vintage custom stripes model that is also in a broad nib, and Pilot broad nibs are hands down some of the smoothest nibs in the pen industry. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they manage to get the right quality control, but they're uniform, they're wonderful, and once you get going with the Pilot nib, you hardly want to stop. And the weight balance of the pen is perfect, and I love how it writes, and I'm pretty sure this pen is going to serve me very well for many years to come, and gotta love it. Are there any dislikes? Well, the universal dislike for this pen would be the Con 40 converter itself, but then you can get around that by using a refilled cartridge, or even cartridges themselves directly if you want to use the Pilot ink. But yes, this is a wonderful pen, and like, look at that texture, look at that feel of the pen. It is amazingly wonderful, and it's nice and woody and grainy. One second, it's, yeah, the focus is better. Yeah, okay, keeps getting out of focus. So yes, this chrome here and the chrome finish here can tend to attract some fingerprints, but I'm sure I can live with it. But my gosh, I've been waiting for this pen so long, and I have to say it has never disappointed since I started writing with it. I'm sure I'll compare it to other broad nibs, and I'll post a long-term review later on. But for now, this pen is a must-buy if you are planning to buy a vanishing point. And do consider buying the pen. If you're looking for a vanishing point, please do consider before the tariffs are revised in India also, because I've seen that the prices in Japan have increased and the prices in the US have also increased. I'm pretty sure there's an increase coming soon. So if you do want to buy a vanishing point, or a pilot for that matter, please do soon. If not, I'm sure there's always a time to buy there's never a wrong time to buy pilot pen. Have a nice day, folks.